mgbe na anụ aya 1967 to 1970 ọgụ ikpeazụ anyị nụrụ ọtụtụ n'ime anyị, I repeat, ọtụtụ n'ime anyị amarọ kịta na-abịalụ chili nne anyị na ụmụnne anyị ndị nwaanyị taa na ife na-ekwu ọkwa ma ife mmiri banye chịrịta ndị ile anyị wakporo ụmụnne anyị ndị nwaanyị di na aha n'ike. Mụ kwuru ndị ile anyị wakporo ụmụnne anyị ndị nwaanyị di na aha n'ike. Ya mere na ọtụtụ mgbe o nwere omume ọya abụọ na-eme na-ene anya nsị ọbụzụkwa onye nwanne m ụdị ife maka ị na-ene anya ka ịhụ nwanne n'ime ịhụ na ndụ si ọta aka agbadie n'ime. Let it be recorded that na some of our sisters and mothers were falsely tied by the enemy. Fa dinele ụmụnna anyị ndị nwaanyị n'ike tụọ ọfọ ime wite ọbara alụrụ alụ fa dịrị ime. Mgbe a na-ekwu ive a na-anụ ọgụ ime nchebede echiche iwepụ nwa nọ ọsọ ị na-agba abụọ ka ịdịgodu ndụ. Etu a ka ọbara alụrụ alụ si bata n'ime anyị. Ya mere na o nwere omume ya na-afụ ụdị oge anya na omume eziri.
Mazi Dibia, I have these young people. Before I need to address and want to teach information of them. Yes, I tell them about into Abalonia Hausa na Igbo and Abalonia Yoruba na Igbo on our course. Eventually, Kubo. Etunya bo Balandi Hausa na Balandi Yoruba shiwe bata na Igbo. Eze dibia mara ka o si bata. Eze dibia shelashi. Na kedu ka eze dibia ji wee si asị. Ọ sị na adakpọrọ ụmụ nwaanyị anyị n'ike. Ga na anọ agha Biafra na ndị Hausa dakpọrọ ụmụ nwaanyị anyị n'ike. Ashi Igbo society has a problem. But for one reason or the other, the Igbo society does not want to deal with that problem. As federal troops capture more Biafran land, and as they tighten their grip on Biafra, there was disorganization of families. What does disorganization mean? I wouldn't even work, especially older men. You may remember in Aluna Railway, in Aluna Post Office, that was federal post office. All those things doesn't function in Biafra. What Igbo women did was this. Not all of them. Some Igbo women, Sidiba walk. They ran away from their husbands, crossed the enemy line, fucking the federal troops. Abraham of Vuteche Ahui Mawa. When I'm going to agree on everything, but if I disagree with the method they voted by rape, there is some rape here and there. Don't get me wrong, even without the federal troops, there's some rapes here and there in Onitsha today, in Enugu today, in Lagos today, there's a rape here and there. See, every part of in New York, in London, there's a rape here and there. So there was a rape here and there in Biafra conducted by the federal troops. But majority of the Igbo women left their husband in a slogan known as Diba Woko. There was a mass revolt of some women, not all, some, about 40, 50, 40, 45% revolted against their husband, Sidiba Woko. Harafuria, oh my Kabuna, Kamugolo Fumama, Kamugolo Manab. Harafuria, the children vanish in my Hosea. Honors in Enugu, which is occupied by the federal troops. Honors in Oka, which is occupied by the federal troops. Nation nearby Wanara and Amina Mumwa. Igbo women is still doing it today. Some Igbo women, let me put some. Hancha. If you take them overseas, alone you're saying that this is UK, this is Germany, this is America. And that has not been discussed in Igboland. There's no discussion of that in Igboland to say, hey, how do we stop this nonsense? After the war bill in 1970, there was a drought in Mali, Sahel area of Africa, Chad. All the Fulanis in Ebawa, Umwanya, Nute, Talachie, the whole of Biafra land. Every corner, if it's an main road, I'm not an main road, Narora, Umwanya, Macharoz, Botemma, but had in Hana, the dirty. So some of these boys, like Zico Malay and Paparipa, Uchichi, they borrow one of them, Warla. They were fucking them, thinking that they are smart. And some of them got pregnant and born baby. They never went back. If you go to Enugu now and but you still see their remnants. Some of the women, some of the women, the Igbo men took them to their houses, fucking, and they're having children for them. That's how you have a Fulani population in Igboland. 1970 Kankame. Some of you Igbos now like deceive moon. So we're gonna pretend that all is well in Igboland. All is not. Igboland need the cleansing. All is not well there. Biafra man, when you are talking with me, you have to keep open mind. The reason why you need to keep open mind is that you want to solve your problem. If you start playing tricks on yourself, you will never solve your problem. And that is why Black Africa is where it is, because we normally and always play tricks on ourselves. What Mazi Dibia is saying, the end product is correct. He says that we have Fulani and foreign blood among us, and they tend to sabotage Biafran agitation. He's 1,000,000% correct. Where he's wrong is the source of that problem. That is why I want to show you that source of problem so that you can correct it. Because if you lie to yourself, the Igbos is in it. Onye amara etu esi n'ozu na-ebido n'ọkpa wee bụwanye bụ ozu. You have to know where the water enter your canoe. Ọ bụrụ Igbo sịrị na ị ga-ama ebe mmiri si ba n'opi ụgbọgụrụ. There are two divisions in what Mazi Dibia said. The effect of mixed blood on Igbo society, he is 1,000,000% correct. But he is attributing the wrong source for that effect. Yes, there was rape. Yes, there was violence. Nobody is doubting that, but that's not the major contribution to that problem. The major contribution to that problem is a phenomenon called Dibakwoku. You don't know about that. That's why I'm trying to educate you upon that. And the influx of Fulanis from Sahel after the war, everywhere in Biafra land. Young men like you, we are secretly having sex with them and they're having children. Some young men like you brought them into the house in the city as girlfriends. Okay, I'm telling you where your problem comes from. Here in Arabia, without facts. Now, what I'm telling you is lie. You didn't even question me. What do I mean by Dibak walk? You didn't even question me about the Sahel movement. This thing jump over that force and violence. No, You can use that as propaganda, but that's not what happened. This is Igbo or Biafran discussion. That is why I'm telling you what happened, so that you know where the problem come. And this problem is still up to today, which I gave an example. Like the you young ones that is in America or Europe, bring Igbo woman there, 3 days he will abandon you and go. The problem is still here. Even Ebukobi, who is a missionary, an Igbo missionary, based in Lagos, building something now at Ngokpala in Imo State, openly in his preaching sermon said, hey, Igbo men, stop marrying these Igbo women and bringing them overseas. Why should a pastor of Igbo extraction instruct their young men not to marry their own tribe and bring them overseas? You have a problem. That problem is what I'm raising for you to solve. In a self-denial, because you want to blanket yourself with propaganda. Propaganda is an external language. It's not an internal language. What do I mean by external language? Oh, here you got people outside. Because if you use propaganda on yourself, you're not going to be able to solve your problem. You have a problem. That's what I'm pointing out to you. You have to solve that problem. Just like Sabo, Biafra movement is a problem. You have to solve it. Men on the ground, they poison. It's people among themselves. So you have problem among yourself, and you identify that problem and solve it. You're not going to be able to move forward. That's not the point. Consensual sex and rape is the same thing. In the topic of Mazi Dibia. Mazi Dibia is talking about foreign blood in Igboland. Whether it's consensual or forced, it will result to foreign blood. So I'm telling you that the consensual one is where you have large percentage of foreign blood in the land. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So it does not matter whether it's rape. It does not matter whether it's consensual, according to you. It results to foreign blood, which is what Mazi Dibia is talking about. What he's saying about foreign blood is correct. But I'm trying to tell him the source of the problem. That the rape and force one is a very minute percentage. The majority of the problem came from the phenomenon called the backwalk and the influx of Fulanis in Biafra land after the war. I'm not going to get an argument. That time, the whole street, but actually with the Fulani women, Amami has seen them in Sahara Desert. All of them took refuge over there, sleeping outside, cooking outside. Sometimes people were giving them food. But young men like you, we go and they take the younger ones. They are not well dressed. Some of them were looking dirty but beautiful. I'm telling you, again, not ever name argument instead of listening. You are manufacturing another theory, which I can challenge, but that's not what we are talking here. Mazi Dibia is saying that the Igbos with foreign blood, meaning Fulani and Hausa blood among us, is the one causing the problem. So I'm trying to tell Mazi Dibia how those foreign blood come into our place. This true phenomenon of the backwalk. Obnon they may rape and they may force. They had very small. There will not be many. You might have 2 or 3 of them in Enugu, or 3 or 3 of them in Onitsha, or 4 or 5 of them in Aba. They are not many, but the other one is many. You know, call them things unscientific. Okay, so happy then. I've told you what the facts are. If you want to learn, you learn. If you don't want to learn, you can leave it. Go listen to SZDB. Here it's not what SZDB is talking. I'm talking totally different thing. We can debate what you're talking, but I don't want to go into debate with you. Go listen to what SZDB is talking. Please. Well, you're making a wrong conclusion that they're not maintaining because you're not subjected them to pressure. Yes, if the Igbos and Yoruba have problem, that's when you will see whether you will be loyal to the Igbos. It might not be, because Mami Asikwe the other side, it might, in the best case scenario, Bulu moderator, and I'm moderate in the Igbo, and I'm moderate in the Yoruba. He might, in the worst case scenario, switch to the Yorubas. So you have not tested that. That's not what Mazi Ezedibia is talking. What he's talking, if the rape and force is what you are saying, is very small. You won't even notice it. From one or two people. That's not the problem. So if you have a problem of sabotage due to foreign blood, yeah, I'm telling you where it came from.